Well, hello. Zdravo. Dobar dan. Ciao. Hello. So, we're going on another walk today. And I'm going to start out by saying happy holidays. Because it's in a full effect. Look at this. Beautiful table setting. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's almost Christmas. And the one great thing about Serbia and Christmas is that, you know, for Americans, we get 2 whole months of Christmas. If we start, you know, around our Thanksgiving, which many people do, and honestly, because of the Gregorian calendar and the fact that Serbs celebrate New Year's and Christmas, like, is it like 10 days after the United States? Something like that. So you get to do it all twice. It's kind of cool. It's kind of draining on the pocketbook. Can be. I've totally changed my Christmas philosophies. When I was younger, it was all about quantity, lots of gifts under the tree. And now, honestly, it's quality, and even more than quality, I think it's the thought that counts. Oh wait, we have to investigate this. So here's a storefront. Looks like it's for rent. I know something cool needs to go in there. There's a lot of businesses that have signs out that tell you that they're going to be on vacation. I saw that a lot in August too, actually. You know, if you can, do it if you can, right? Okay. So yeah, it's December 8th, 2024, and we're in Belgrade, Serbia, walking around. We're in like Stari Grad area. And I needed to get up and out. I needed to go and move around a little bit. It's a beautiful church. Power station. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I want to go here. I'm gonna go down this way. I once saw what looked like a car dealership around here. There's the most car dealerships I've seen were in Novi Sad, and then there's a couple out towards like it's a Vidakovic, maybe out that way. Definitely not like California. Well, it just, there's a lot of dealerships, especially where I grew up. So here's a funny thing. I still remember my phone number when I was growing up. And I was born in 1968. 8868, that's me. And so our first phone number, there was no area code even. It was 842 2200. Wow, look at this old building. Alright, I'm going to tell the story, but I'm going to stop for a second just because I'm going to investigate here. See, there's always one window at the top of these buildings. It's so, I mean, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Like even up there, one window at the top. Now this is it's probably a prime piece of real estate, and probably, the owners maybe inherited this and they're just not doing anything with it. It's cool. It's really cool. Anyways, yeah, when I was a kid, my phone number, 842-2200. So I lived in Glendale. It's right next to a city named Burbank. And Burbank had a place called Burbank Ford. So it was a dealership. They had, probably 200 cars on their lot at all times, brand new. Anyways, I'm sorry, I keep stopping. I keep seeing these little gardens and stuff that are interesting. Look at that. How cool is that? In the city, and they have a nice little garden like that. That's so cool. Yeah, really cool. Anyways, Burbank Ford's phone number, I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was probably something like 842-2220, and ours was 842-2200. So we got a lot of phone calls from wrong numbers to this place. This was a fancy schmancy home at one time. It still is. So sometimes I would get a phone call and I'd hear, Burbank Ford? And I'd say, no, you got the wrong number. And if the phone rang again, like immediately, being the young punk that I was, I would answer the phone, Burbank Ford. And I remember this one time, I told this person, yeah, we got your car on the lift. We just got the motor out. Yeah, this is a big problem. This is going to cost, I don't know how many thousands of dollars I quoted. And they said, what are you talking about? My car's in for an oil change. Oh my God, what are you guys doing? Oh my God. Anyways, that's a stupid thing I would do as a child. You don't think about when you're a kid. You don't even think about, how much trouble you're causing somebody. And now, as an adult, I realize, maybe I'm paying some karma on some of these things. I hope I'm done paying, because honestly, I've paid a lot. Maybe I was a bad guy in a previous life. And the goal is to be a much better guy in the future. Yeah. Look at this place. This looks like a fairy tale. Doesn't it? I mean, I don't know if you can even see, but it just definitely looks like a fairy tale. And there's the obligatory single window. Like always. There's a bird. Doing bird stuff. He's not afraid. At all. Well, I don't know, we got some business down here that looks like a bakery or something. Oh, that's got the Glovo sign. Glovo is like DoorDash. Here there's two companies, Wolt and Glovo. Okay, look at this whole place. Yeah, it's really unique the way the wood is. Let's see, I gotta go over here. Get out of the street. So this place is new to me. I've not been here. Huh. Univer Export. Interesting. Okay. Definitely something I need to check out. So I go to the same market all the time. I go to Maxi or I go to farmers markets, but you know, Maxi's not the cheapest for sure. And I would like to see something cheaper. I don't know. I'll have to go check this out for sure. I wonder if they need a club card or something to be a part of this. Here's Christmas in full effect. Urban Distillery. Food and design with love. And see, look, it's all in English. It's very thoughtful. Yeah, a lot of the trees have lost all their leaves. So it's, you know, it's got that bleak winter kind of look. Oh yeah, this is like, oh, they are like a brewery. This is kind of like a place where, in America, there's a place called Taps, where they have like 100 beers on tap. I think this is something like that. So it's kind of chilly out. It's like about 7 degrees or so. Which is, I don't know, it's about 44 maybe, something like that, Fahrenheit. Rent a car. This is good to know because honestly, I don't currently have access to a car. And the car that I do have, if I ever get access to it again, I would consider selling it at this point. It's a super luxury to have a vehicle here. Okay, yeah, this is I guess car row here. Because look, there's Nissan. Service for Nissan. All these cars that certainly don't come to America, or if they do, they have a different name. Autoland. Oh. Alright, used cars. That's Renault. And you know, Renault, they do have some sort of association with Jeep. And AMF. It's Dacia. There's the Dacia Duster. It's an Italian car. There's Alfa Romeo. Yeah, Fiat. Yeah, these are all car companies that you don't see in America so much. So, yeah, this place is huge. This is the rental place too, I guess. Yeah, that's something I need to remember for sure. Citron. Yeah, you don't see it all in America. The only Citrons there from late 60s, early 70s. Coolest car. Funky looking, but amazing technology, especially for its time. So here, look, here's another building with the obligatory single window at the top on the side. And they have a huge air conditioner, which I don't blame them, I would too. Yeah, I would love to live there. It's so interesting to me, you know, to these places, you just don't know what's inside. Okay, some restaurant down there or something. That doesn't look like a cat she's holding. So I'm curious, how many of you follow astrology? And how many of you are at least aware of astrology and what it is? You know, my mom was an expert astrologer. And astrology is very complicated. It's more than just the sun sign that you read about in the Sunday paper. You know, just basics, the basics, without getting into the houses and all the planets. It has to do with the time of birth, the place of birth, and the date of birth. And those things make up, you know, all these factors in your life. And as the world moves and stars change, conditions have been noticed over the years. And that's the thing that blows my mind. I mean, can you imagine, even with our knowledge today of the universe, and you're staring at the sky and you say, wow, you know what, I'm going to start recording. What happens? Oh, every time that the sun is like this and the moon is like this and the star is over here, every time I feel I'm lucky, or I feel troubling things seem to happen, or, I mean, think of all the detail. So the amount of observation it took to even come up with, you know, astrology as a mechanism for trying to, you know, have a better view of the world, you know, in ways that we don't see it. Not only did that take a lot of effort, but I mean, it took so much time, so much data gathering, and this is presumably before they had computers. So today, you know, we have computers that can calculate much more finite observations of the universe. So, I mean, if we don't, you know, destroy ourselves and we continue on this path, technically our observations should become more and more precise. But the other thing that goes along with astrology is tarot and also numerology. These three, you know, people would call them voodoo or pseudoscience or something like that. Once upon a time, astrology and astronomy were one science. I think it was the church under I think it was under King James that all reference to astronomy and astrology were separated from each other, and they started to condone astrology. Tarot is interesting to me because of the verbiage. This is obviously here, this is the tram depot. And you see lots of wire there, and you see trams and old tracks, and this is obviously some kind of repair station. Dynamic Sport and Health Club. Oh, this is like a gym probably. Anyways, the verbiage of tarot is interesting for relationships. I mean, it's interesting for other things too, of course, but I think its primary best use is for, you know, trying to understand relationships. Because, you know, relationships you're only thinking about from your view. And even if, you know, whoever you're having an issue with, I mean, their view is so different. Of course it is, right? It's their view. Do you think that you'd be able to see the same thing? I mean, if I look over and I see this sign up here and I say, this sign is yellow, and somebody else tells me, no, that sign is orange. Well, I'm seeing it as yellow. If you're seeing it as orange, this is a problem, and how are we ever going to be on the same page? That's not what's troubling to me or anything like that. I like the fact that